Hi there, it's Nicole here today with a North Pole Nice Elves scene card to share with you. This uses some of the add-ons from the Hero Arts October 2017 card kit. The main kit did sell out, but I'm telling you guys the add-ons are some of my most favorites of all time. I love them and I thought it would be fun to combine a couple of them for this Christmas card share today. I love the North Pole sign. This is a Stampin' Cuts set, so it means it comes with the stamps and the dies for creating this little sign. And you can mix and match. You can mix and match not only the sign shapes, but you can mix and match the greetings you use for the signs. So awesome. Really, really great images. You can customize the signs. You can use it lots of different ways. I just can't say enough great things about this. I'm going to apologize. I accidentally deleted the file where I stamped the sign pole. I stamped it with Versamark and heat embossed it with white embossing powder, used the Zig Clean Color Real Brush Marker to add color, and then a water brush pen to blend it out. So that is how I created the sign pole. The signs are going to be created by stamping, or die cutting rather, the sign shape from Bristol Smooth cardstock. And then I will show you on the other two tags or signs here how I inked them up. I stamped one of the greetings from the North Pole sign stamp set with Versamark, heat embossed with white embossing powder. I'm going to go ahead and do another one. There's actually 4 different sign shapes that you can use. It just really is whatever is up to you. I use the smallest arrow, mostly because it's the smallest one, and I felt like it gave me the most room so you could still see that awesome red and white candy cane pole. I'm using some tweezers to hold on to these little dies so I can keep my fingers well away from the heat gun. And then I'm going to take Hickory Smoke Distress ink and ink up mostly the edges of the signs, but a lot of the ink kind of gets in the middle because you definitely want that embossed resist effect where you can read the greeting. I really like this Hickory Smoke. It's a nice gray, kind of a nice, kind of different color rather than maybe using black or brown. I really liked how the Hickory Smoke looked with the red and white pole. So I'm going to add that color. I'm using a scrap piece of paper to keep my fingers out of the ink, and then using a paper towel to buff any ink that might be sitting on top of the raised embossed area. I'm going to buff that off, clean off my work surface. Make sure my signs are good and cleaned off. And here is what my little sign pole is going to look like. How cute is that? I love this sign pole. I think it would be adorable on tags, all kinds of different scenes. You definitely don't have to limit it to just these images. I created a Naughty Elves card with one of the add-on kits in my previous video talking about the Hero Arts October kit and add-ons, and mentioned how much I loved it. It's my favorite. I think the Naughty Elves are hysterical, but there are nice elves too, and I love these as well. I think it's fun to have the nice elves and the naughty elves. So many ways to use them, and this scene is going to feature my nice elves. Now, I needed something. For me, it's easier to create and build a scene if I have some sort of starting point. And the Lawn Fawn portrait stitched hillside backdrop is perfect for this. I love these dies. Both the landscape and the portrait make creating all kinds of scenes absolutely fantastic. It's a great starter, and it makes finding and figuring out all those little areas where you want to add something, it kind of takes the guesswork out of it, I guess is what I want to say. So I'm going to set that aside for just a second and work on finishing my background for that scene before I stamp and color my elves. To do this, I am taking a couple of images from the Nice Elves. One is kind of a little open circle shape, And it's like maybe a set of 4 or 5, I think maybe it's 5 little open circles that look like snowflakes, I think, or snow falling. And then the other one is a trio of snowflakes. I'm going to put them together on my acrylic block, and I am just going to simply start stamping them. And as I'm working, I will add the embossing powder so I can see where I've already been. It's a little hard to see on screen. I think you can tell a little bit. I have not heat embossed anything yet. I'm going to wait until I have this whole thing stamped and have the embossing powder in place, and then I will heat set all of this. This is going to be the sky back behind the opening in my portrait stitched hillside backdrop. I wanted something to really add a pop of color, and so it's going to this is a North Pole sign that I created, so I wanted to look like these elves at the North Pole working and walking and super busy getting ready for the holidays. That's kind of where my mind went with this card. And of course, it's cold and snowy, and snow is always falling there, so I wanted to create this background, and I wanted to show how easy it is to take the smallest of stamps and quickly create a background. This is really simple, very, very fast, and especially the more little images like this that you put together on one block and stamp at one time, the quicker it is. So I heat set that. I'm going to take Mermaid Lagoon Distress ink and apply my color. And of course, that embossed resist takes effect, and my snowflakes pop out there from the background. Beautiful blue color. It's the perfect contrast for my scene. So there's kind of what it's going to look like. I have stamped 3 of the Elves images from the Nice Elves stamp set, plus the ladder and 3 little toy images on some Bristol Smooth cardstock using VersaFine black ink. I heat set that because it is a pigment ink and I don't want to smear it. Then I'm going to start with my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers and start adding color. Because I used Zigs for the North Pole signage, I wanted to use them here as well. My other elves I used Copic markers on them. I'm trying to show different coloring mediums for all of these images. You could definitely use colored pencils and things like that as well. I wanted to go with something that I felt would be kind of fast, and for me, Copics and Zigs are much quicker, a little bit more natural for me, I think. Although I love colored pencils, for such small areas like this, I wasn't sure how quick I would get them colored, especially with shading and things like that. So I opted for the Zigs. Super quick coloring, because these images are not real big, but they're very detailed. I think they're absolutely adorable. The elves are so cute. I would love to see cards that have a mix of the naughty and the nice elves, like the elf that's throwing snowballs. He could be throwing them at the good elves. I don't know why, but in my mind, I think that's funny. Just really, really cute images. I have listed the colors I'm using to color everything along the left side of the screen. I have listed like Toy Sack and then the 2 colors I used for it. Next, the pink elf costume, and then the colors I'm going to use to color in her costume. The skin colors are going to be the same, which I showed just a little bit ago. I'm simply picking those up and coloring those in again. The hair is all of the same colors. I kind of just kept that the same to make it super quick and easy here, but you could mix it up and do whatever you wanted to do here. And I decided to do a little pink and red for her elf costume. I did so much red and green, and then I started with red and green for the little boys here and decided that I wanted another pop of color, and I really liked the pink and red and green together for Christmas. So she's got a little pink and red outfit with some green tights. The list she's holding, I'm going to add some dark gray and blend it out with pale gray. And make sure and clean the tip of your lighter marker off after you color and blend out that darker color with it so that you don't transfer that dark color the next time you use it. I just kind of clean it off there along the edge of my paper. Most everything I start with my dark color and then blend out with my lighter color. It makes it super quick that way. Generally, I don't go back over it again unless I see something that isn't quite right or I see something that I need to darken up. All of my elves have some light green gloves on. That little stack of gift presents, then I am going to incorporate one additional color, and that is going to be some blue. I felt like I needed to pull some blue from the sky into those gift packages. The reindeer is the same colors as the hair, and then just using some reds and greens. These toy images are super small, so you can use whatever you maybe have laying around to color those in. I didn't really pull in any additional color. The stack of presents is a great place, though, to add some additional pops of color where so much of the rest of the scene is reds, greens, pinks, or neutrals. This is a great little place to have lots and lots of color. So I'm going to pull in some blue throughout that stack of gift presents. The nice fine tips on the zigs also make coloring in these smaller areas very easy, I think. Just use a light hand when doing so. And I think this stepladder is really cute, and it's a great little accessory type image for the scene that's going to look fantastic like next to the pole, almost like they have to stand up there and switch out their signs or something like that. That's kind of my thinking. I thought that would be kind of cute. It would even be cute to set one of the elves on top of that sign and have them standing there, maybe directing traffic. I attached the sky back behind my portrait stitched hillside backdrop. Then I'm going to attach the signage behind one of those snowy borders with the step stool next to it. This backdrop is A2 sized, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. So it's going to completely fit the front of an A2 sized card. I'm going to lay out my images as I pop them out of the coordinating dies that I used to die cut them. Make sure I like where everything goes and then start attaching them to the scene. So the elf with the toy sack is walking down the hill there with it flung over his shoulder. The elf with the gifts is carrying it there kind of in the background, back against the falling snow sky. And the little girl elf is standing down near the bottom, holding her list and checking it twice. We're going to scatter a few toys throughout the scene. And I got a little smudge there, so I'm going to use my Tombow Mono Eraser to get rid of that. Adhere this panel to the top of a white top fold card base, and then finish the inside of the card with a stamped greeting from the Nice Elves stamp set, which reads, "Have a holly jolly Christmas." And that is going to finish up this North Pole Nice Elves scene card. Thanks for joining me today for this card featuring stamps and dies that are add-ons from the Hero Arts My Monthly Hero October 2017 kit. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring Hero Arts that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.